Okay, you guys are good to go.
We will now call this meeting to order. City of New Haven meeting agenda, Youth Services Committee. It can be viewed on Board of Alders YouTube. Board of Alders New Haven notice. The Youth Services Committee will meet in person on Wednesday, February 5th, 2025 at 6 p.m. located at 165 Church Street, second floor, Board of Alders Chamber, New Haven, Connecticut, to an update from the Youth and Recreation Department. Per order, Honorable Kimberly Edwards, Chair, attests Honorable Michael Smart, City Clerk. If you need an accessibility-related accommodation, please contact 203-946-7651 voice or 203-946-8582 TTY. In accordance with the City of New Haven COVID-19 policies, masks are now optional at meetings. Public may send comments to public testimony at newhavenct.gov. Thank you all for being here tonight. And before we do introductions, I would just like to remind everyone to please make sure your cell phone is either turned off or it is on silent, please, so we're not interrupted. And I just want to remind everyone to use proper decorum, and please let's not call each other or our presenters by their first names, and use their titles and or last names. And we will now start our meeting. And I'm going to start by introducing myself, and then we will go to committee members on the right. My name is Kimberly Edwards, Chair of Youth and Youth Services Committee.
Ellen Cooper, Ward 8.
Carmen Rodriguez, Ward 6.
Saisha Walker Myers, Ward 23.
Brittany Mayberry Nyblack, Ward 20.
Frank Radecki, Ward 15.
Thank you. Thank you, alders, for introducing yourselves. And now I would just have, as we always do, our presenters just state their names and addresses for the record before we begin.
Sure, Gwendolyn Williams, 19 Artisan, New Haven, Connecticut.
Felicia Shashenko, 720 Edgewood Avenue, New Haven, Connecticut.
All right, thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for this year of 2025, our first meeting with you all. And thank you for honoring us by giving us some updates on all the great things that you will be happening and have going on in your department.
Good evening, Happy New Year to everyone. I was just looking at my deputies, all her notes she has down there, and I'm like, all right, she's trying to make me look bad. It's okay. She's a hard worker. Happy to see everyone in the new year. We are kicking off, and I will break down into the different silos that we have. So under our youth employment silo, youth at work, the youth at work applications have been made available since the first week in January. It is again a digital process. Families are able to go online and to click the link to be able to start the application process, as well as will upload their information on a secured line in order to complete the application. As of our last date, we had over 200 applications so far, and the deadline for the application is Maundy Thursday, April 17th, that is this year. We are also encouraging work sites to apply. It is a digital process as well, and all the links can be found on our City of New Haven website. You know, if you go to the main page, we are one of the desktop. We're one of the 6 key icons up there, and when you click on Youth and Recreation, it is available, and you can move through the process with much ease. Also, under the Youth at Work umbrella, we will be coming out in March with our book award. The book award, this will be our 3rd year in doing it, where we award either a $1,000 scholarship or $500 scholarship to deserving New Haven youth who are moving on to higher education upon graduation. Last year, we did have the ceremony here inside of the chambers, which is what we're looking to do again approximately around May. When the applications become available, we will make sure that those links are sent to our aldermanic family so that you can get it out to your constituents. Last year, we did award $15,000 in scholarships, which served approximately 20 young people. And we are extremely happy that they all successfully completed their first semester, and words that we have gotten back is that everyone is doing well. So we're very pleased with that. Under the Youth Service Bureau umbrella, we are beginning to do planning for our summer, our Family Fun Day, which has been falling under that manager, Mr. Ernest Coleman. So we are in the beginning of coming up with the map of what communities we will be going into the summer, along with the vendors that we will be engaging to participate. We are trying to switch up the different areas. We have 30 wards that we could go in. And so we do not want to be repetitive and continue to go to the same areas or the same parks. So we are trying to expand where we are going. One, for example, an addition we did last year was going over to Scannerberry. And that was amazing. It was so many people like fighting the kids back. Get away from the mic, stop. You know, it was just so many people. All the vendors ran out of food, but the games and the slides, everyone really had a good time. So that is what we're trying to do. We're very excited. Under our ARPA programming, we are almost, I would say we are at 90% complete with getting our contracts out for the ARPA dollars that we have. As you are aware, we did do our MOUs to make sure, in light of the change of administration, that our dollars would be secure. With that being done in working with and collaboratively with the Board of Alders, I'm so excited that our dollars have not been moved, and we are continuing on with getting our contracts out. Under the sports expansion grant, we gave out 11 contracts. We awarded 11 different organizations for 2 years. The maximum award would have been $15,000, no, $20,000, excuse me. And then under the regular expansion grant, which is also a multi-year, 2-year, multi-year contract, it was a maximum of $45,000 they could for each year, totaling $90,000. And we selected 13 different organizations. So between the 2 grants, we are giving over $800,000 in grants directly into the hand of community in order to be able to do work with our young people and their families. So we are extremely proud of that. Our Youth Connect program is still flourishing, unfortunately. I wish I could come and say that everything is going well and that, you know, we're going to be sunsetting that program, but the need is still there. And so we continue to work with the police department, New Haven Board of Education, and community partners to bring services to our most needed families in the community. We will avail ourselves to you for any information, and we also are open to a referral process. To get into our Youth Connect program, it is a referral process because we are dealing with minors, but we take referrals from any entity, so it can be a family, it could be the school, it could be the police, it could be a pastor, it could be a church. And then once we receive the referral, we will start the process to see that if the young person meets the requirements for the Youth Connect program, or if we would titrate them down to go to another community partner that might offer services. An example of that partner might be Clifford Beers, if they needed mental health services, or we might refer them over to UCA, who will match them up with a mentor or a vet or a volunteer. So it depends on the need of the child. Every case is individualized, but that process is still continuing. The program is still going strong, and we continue to tweak it to make sure that it is better. I think I have, in regards to economics, we have put in our budget for the year, and so we are excited with our budget, and hopefully that once it is received, everyone will be very pleased with our plans for the year. We plan on continuing the program, and one of the biggest things when we started with ARPA is to make sure that even when these dollars sunset, we will be able to continue the programming that we're doing, recognizing that it may be able to stay status quo, or it might have to be scaled down, but the programs will not sunset. They have now become a staple in the community, so it is extremely important to keep continuity and fluidity for our young people and their families who are being serviced by that program. I'm happy to report that for the first time, we are fully staffed. So excited! And for some, like, oh, okay, well, that's not, no, it is a big deal for us because we have always been a small department, and we have stood the test where our departments have been split, addition, split again, and we've still been able to keep the continuity of our programming going. But right now, we are fully staffed. We are a full, humongous staff of 13.
Lucky number.
No, lucky number, continuing to do the work of, continuing to do the work of 13,000. I'm so very proud of this staff. It is a great group of young men and women and seasoned men and women who are doing the work. And so I am hoping that I will be able to extend an invitation, or you will come to one of our events where you can meet our new staff that have been hired. It will be a pleasure for you to meet them and a great experience for them. So I am finished on this side, and I'm going to turn it over to my Deputy of Operations, who's going to be speaking about what is going on our recreation side.
Good evening, everybody. I'm afraid to touch this thing. Yay. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. As Gwen said, we are in the midst of it all. We've got a bunch of programs. I gave each of you the flyers for the up-and-coming programs that we are now registering for. And I like to go through everything just because we always hear, there's nothing for young people to do in this city. So, we have a bunch of programs. We have arts and crafts, which for adults and kids, pottery, same thing for adults and kids. Art classes for our homeschool children that we do in the middle of the day. A STEM program. Our open schools are between 5 and 6 per night, and we're averaging 50 per building. So it can be anywhere from 200 to 300 kids per night in any one of the communities. And as we call it, controlled chaos. The building is open, and we have basketball, kickball, games, and everything else, with youth at work staff as well as regular staff. We've got our Legos program. We have what we call our game room extravaganza. It's for kids and adults, kind of a family kind of an activity that we're going to be doing at Coogan Pavilion, where you come in and there's all different games, new games, old games, ping pong, pool, air hockey, yoga, free program on Tuesday mornings over at Coogan Pavilion, as well as Sunday afternoons at 1 o'clock, if anybody's interested. We have a kickball program with young kids, still doing our swimming lessons, our lifeguard training, getting ready for the summertime to be able to staff the pool and the beach. Our basketball leagues are in full swing, anywhere from kindergarten through 8th graders. Planning for our April vacation camp, which is ages from 5 to 13. Easter egg hunt is on the plan Saturday, April 19th over at Wilbur Cross at 1 o'clock. One of the things that we seldom talk about, but we do have, is we have a really big volleyball program. So we have an adult volleyball program, and then we have a boys program, which we have been able throughout the last couple of years to have these young high school kids. And what we wound up doing is asking the Board of Ed to come up with a co-op, and now these kids are going to be have a club team this year, and then next year they're going to have a varsity team amongst all the New Haven schools. And I got to tell you, if you think these basketball players can jump, you got to see these volleyball players. They are unbelievable.
And they won.
And they won, and they keep winning.
They went to a tournament.
They're going to like tournaments like almost every weekend now, and they're super psyched. And we also have a girls. So what we're trying to do with the Board of Ed is we're trying to use this as a feeder program for high school sports coming forward, to be able to add volleyball to the high school offerings. We have a Rising Stars program, which starts at 4 years old, and it's kind of as I call it, it's the word I'm looking for, buffet of different sports where they do some soccer, they do some basketball, they do some kickball. So it's kind of, we go through a bunch of different sports just in their young kids. So they haven't really been participating in any of those things before. So it's fun to kind of watch them do everything. We also have a line dancing program, intermediate and advanced line dancing. And now we have a pickleball program and a badminton program. Currently, we're working on summer. We're looking at doing 12 camps, servicing over 600 kids. Our activity bus will be out in the different parks Monday through Thursday from 4 to 8. Our pools, we took a tour of the pools last week. It looks like we're only going to have 2 pools open for the summertime, Hill House and Career. Track program, which we did with Coach Moore and the Hill House track team last year. We did 100 kids last year. We are going to open it up to 300 kids, and free program from 7 to 13 for the month of July. And it will be Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at Bowen Field from 6 to 7:30. We've also added a wellness component to that, which is going to involve Yale New Haven Hospital, as well as the Cornell Scott and the New Haven Health Department. So what they're gonna do is come out and tell kids and tell parents the benefits of exercise and eating right and doing all of that before it gets too late for some of these kids, so that they know how to make the right choices at a very young age. Friday night movies in the park, those will start in June. We'll be doing 6 of those in different parks. We're working on our midnight basketball program. We're gonna kind of revamp that a little bit. That'll be Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and we're gonna be doing it at the rink. And we're gonna change that a little bit. We're gonna have younger kids, starting at 5th grade, going to 8th grade. We're gonna do boys, girls, and we're gonna do some free clinics for kids as well. Then we're gonna have our high school girls league and the women's college league, and we're gonna be trying to do some things with girls, 5th and 6th graders. So our summer is gonna look really, really busy, and it'll keep a lot of kids super busy.
I do just want to add on, we are doing something a little different for our camps this year. We're using 90% of our park buildings in home. So out of the 6 locations that we have, is it 6?
I think it's 8.
8 locations, only 2 are in school. Our extreme camp, which is done at Sound School, and our performance camp, which has made a home with Morrill Sheridan. We will be using our park buildings, so from Lighthouse, Coogan Pavilion, Trowbridge, missing some.
Edgerton, the rink.
Edgerton in the rink. Okay, I got it. And also what we're changing this year with our camp is we have heard the cries of many parents, because we do break it down by age, and there's different requirements for our tiny tots, 5 to 7-year-olds versus a 10 to 13-year-old. You're required to have more supervision over your tiny tots. But for parents who have children that cross the whole range of age, our camps, every age group is available at each site. So we have made that difference this year. So we're hoping that will work, so you don't have a parent that has to go to Coogan and then drive over to Edgerton and then go to Trowbridge or up to Lighthouse. They're able to select a camp and drop all the children off at one time. So we are still working. We hear when someone makes a suggestion, we try our best. If it is a good sound suggestion, it's something that we are able to actually incorporate. We make sure that we do that. And we are also working on a scholarship program for camps, as we recognize that every family is not able to afford. Now, we're not able to give everything free, but we're working on supporting families who are in need. Thus ends our.
One last thing.
Oh, one last thing?
Yeah, one last thing.
Okay.
The other thing is, compared to last year, we will have our camp information out and about on February 10th this year. Last year, we had to wait till April to get that out, just because we were held up on that, as Gwen said.
Yeah, we had a little hiccup.
We had a little hiccup.
Which is why we're using our own buildings this year.
Unhiccuped. We have held our breath, Frank.
On the hiccup.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you for allowing us to come and to share. I know it was so much information to digest, but, we have thank you, Felicia, for bringing the packet of flyers. Made it colorful to definitely disrupt your attention span. And if there's any information that we did not provide for you that you wish to ask us now, or if it's something that you wish for us to send to you, we're more than happy to do so. And thank you for your continued support for coming to all of our events.
All right, thank you for that great presentation. You gave us a lot of information. Are there any questions from Penny? Oh, here we go. Order from Ward 23.
Thank you, Madam Chair. How many pools was open last year? One. So this year, two. And what?
There's 5 pools.
I know, I was going there. So the reason why only those will be available?
So we are under the confines of what is made available to us by the Board of Education. We do not maintain the pools, and we do not provide funding in order to maintain the pools. What we do provide is the staffing for the pools and the programming and the scheduling of the pools. So we are only able to work with what is given to us. We were told that there is still repairs that have to be completed on the pools. Has gone out, Deputy Shashenka has gone out to view all of the pools, and there's only 2.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
No problem. Alder Redente.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Dr. Williams and Deputy Director Shashika, for that great presentation. First, let me start by thanking you for your assistance in our program this past Friday at Wilbur Cross High School. Your partnership is I'm always honored by your partnership. I just want to say a few things before my question. The basketball program, I'm just glad to see it up and still going, because I think it's one of the longest running programs around as far as basketball is concerned. I played in it as a child when Mr. Dixon was running it out of Wexler School on the 8-foot rims. That shows how old I am.
Well, only 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, a long time. I'd love to see the kickball. That's great. And yoga I've got to see because you run it at a CTVIP, so I'm there often. And I was going to ask about the pools, but Madam President beat me to the punch. So where are you holding the pickleball classes?
So right now that's at Memorial Sheridan.
And is that
Free, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays.
Is that something that, like, are you teaching the game of pickleball?
So they haven't taught it because they had such a big representation over at Wilbur Cross this summer. So there were about 350 people that were playing 5 days a week over there. It's outrageous on how quickly that is growing. And what we did is, obviously we can't service that many adults in the winter time, so we took whatever we could get with that floor. It's a wooden floor. It plays completely different, and we just kind of first come, first serve by a Team Reach sign up. So you go on Team Reach, you sign up, boom, you're out there. Depending on what night you sign up for.
Were you looking for lessons? Is that?
No. I know that the place on Valley Street and Blake Street is looking for partners because they're having a hard time getting people in.
So we actually partnered with them, with Wilk. What we were doing is in the spring and the fall of last year, because we knew that building was coming, he was asking if he could get out and do some clinics and some free programs in the parks, and we let him do that with the idea that could morph into getting people to go inside. I'm not sure how that made out for them, because he is now kind of went independent. He was working with them running that facility, and within the last month or so, he has gone independent.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him directly. I talked to Harrison Bloom.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'll ask next time I see him, but thank you for that information.
Sure.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're most welcome. Any other questions from committee members? I'm going to ask any comments from committee members?
Everyone try to get home before this.
No? All right. I'll just quickly throw in the thank you that I gave at the beginning. I'll make sure I post this on my personal page because, as you stated, people act like we don't have activities for our children
Mhm.
that are run by the city. And our staff put these great programs together. And I always tell them, go to the city's website. So I will make sure we're sharing this widely, to remind everybody. We've told them about Youth at Work because we knew you were putting the applications up from the last time you came. And I just want to thank you all for continuously doing the great work that you do.
Madam Chair, I'm sorry, what I didn't get to tell you all about Youth at Work is that they have actually started their school tour. So my staff has been going to all of the high schools during the lunch waves, giving out the QR codes and answering and explaining about the program and how to apply. And so, you know, we understand when they say that there's nothing to do, but we do not do our work to fight the myth. We do our work to support the kids. So no matter what we do, we understand that there's still going to be a complaint, a naysayer. It is okay. It just keeps us going. But we are out in the schools. We will be hitting the larger high schools, so Hill House and Cross. We will be doing them twice during their lunch waves. And then we will be here to start supporting, you know, as the applications are coming in.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, add-ons. All right, thank you for coming.
Thank you. Appreciate you all.
Thank you for spending time with us. Are there any members of the public wishing to testify? For a second time, any members of the public wishing to testify? For a third time, any members of the public wishing to testify? None. Okay, so we can close the public portion, correct? Madam?
Madam Chair, I make the motion and close the public portion of the meeting.
Second. Oh, so moved. All right, the public portion is closed. Any discussion? Yep, true that. Let's take a vote, please. All right, all in favor of closing the public portion?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Seeing none, the public portion is now closed. All right, so any other motions on the floor? Madam Vice Chair.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, seeing none.
The ayes have it.
The ayes have it. We are now closed. We're not closed, but we are now adjourned.
Adjourned. Sounds good.
Sorry, her name is Dr. T.B. Dubs. Dr. T.B. Dubs.